Scott Parker is way too negative for this league. Matt says we can't be starting games with 7 defensive-minded players and expect to score. Give us your views on all of that. Hope you're well. Welcome back to 20 minutes of Burnley chat. We're of course fresh back from Villa Park this afternoon, where Burnley yet again come away with absolutely nothing. Did they deserve more though on this occasion? We are getting into all of that with our team. Also coming up this week then, we'll talk about Burnley being too negative. What's up with Steve? Another poor performance from him, 2 in a row now from some fans saying refereeing standards in the Premier League. Burnley are definitely the victims of some of the most poor decisions we've seen this season. And we started our A to B last week. Who gets in for you at B? We asked AI and they came up with this fella.
Georgie Boyd.
Let's see if you can beat George Boyd. Hope you're well. At the risk of having the same conversation each week, fellas, are you getting worried yet, Connor?
See, we said last week the season starts now, and I thought today was a very poor account of ourselves. Honestly, is that beeping?
It's my dishwasher, sorry. Carry on.
Carry on.
Where was I? Yeah, I said season starts now, and I thought it was very, very sluggish today. Besides from after Ugochukwu who scored, and even 5 minutes after that, we had a bit of momentum, then lost it all because Fleming decided to go assault one of their players. Poor, very poor. And if we're going to play like that against Leeds, then might as well call the season off now.
Yeah. This one here says, Jordan says, awful, no good at all, very negative, poor all round. Esteve's been poor the last 2 games. Only Cullen and Florentino looked good today, and Bigley when he came on. Poor and negative from Parker today. And there's loads of fans, Jordan, that are saying, look, we love Scott Parker, but he's got to be braver. Do you agree?
Yeah, he's annoying me a bit at the minute, Scott. You know, I love him. I love his philosophy. I love what he's done for the club, but he's bugging me a bit because all I ever hear off him is lesson. We need to learn some lessons. When do we learn these lessons, Scott? Because learning lessons in the toughest league on the planet, I'm sorry, it just doesn't cut it. As far for everyone else, everyone on that pitch today for me looked very uninterested. Apart from Dubravka, Dubravka were absolutely amazing. It could have been 7-1, really, couldn't it? Let's have it right. It gave me a bit of something when Ugochukwu come on and every Villa fan went, ooh, and then he put an header in. That made me feel a little bit better about myself. And just quickly to caveat, Connor, you can't assault someone when you have 100% of the ball. He runs into Fleming, you can't do it. He needs to, Buendia needs to sort his head out, really, because he was like this on pitch for 10 minutes and he gets up and practically moonwalks into changing rooms. So, horrendous.
We've seen our first one of these, Dan.
Oh, give me a break. Come off it now, boys. It's a bit of an overreaction, don't we think? I can see why the frustration's creeping in now. I can. And today was the first time I've looked at it and thought, this is going to be a long season. You know, we've been quite positive on this podcast. We probably will continue to be so until, we're mathematically down. But today, it was, we set up 5 at the back. Cullen and Florentino in midfield, both very defensive-minded players. So we kind of knew what he was trying to achieve. But the problem is that we didn't execute it very, very well, and we left ourselves wide open. You think with 7 defensive players on there, and they just skip through the middle of us, and he scores. But then there is no plan B. I think somebody else has mentioned that as well on Twitter, that he did try and change it a bit soon. He brings on Burnleys, and he was obviously thinking that change just before half time as well. But to kick it, say Parker out at this stage is just absolutely ridiculous. Who are we going to bring in? Who's going to do anything different? We're not getting pummeled every week, but I appreciate we do need to start now imposing ourselves. We're still in a tough run of fixtures. I know last week we said these next 3 games will define us, but let's have it right. Villa have just beaten Fulham 3-1. They've just beaten Feyenoord 2-0 away from home. They've had a bad start to the season, but they're not a bad team. So to go there and, okay, we lost 2-1. Yeah, we've still got no points on the board. But Parker, have a word with yourselves, boys. I know not you 3, but you know what I mean.
Cheers for that, Dan. Connor. Daniel says, we're too many weaklings. I love Cullen, but he's too small. A great player in a team that has all the possession, but he gets out-jumped, bullied and outpaced and isn't skillful enough for this level. Please stop this 5 at the back experiment too. It is not working. Let's talk about the Cullen bit first of all. There, does he have a point?
Yeah, he is a short man, but I think to say that height is our problem, one of our main problems, is a bit of yeah. I don't know where you're getting that from. We are a short team, yeah, but you see Ugochukwu pulling out a header, but yeah, he wasn't trouble, whatever. To say Cullen's not skillful for this level is it's a bit much, because after he scored against Sunderland, we're all praising him being this absolutely amazing midfielder, and to say he's not skillful enough I don't agree with that.
This 5 at the back experiment, Jordan. Is it time to ditch it then?
No, it works to an extent, but I think when it's going bad, it's going really bad because you have no attacking outlet. I like the ball switching between Walker and Hartman, which was as good as non-existent today. I think it happened twice, maybe, and the second time we were offside. You can put 5 at the back, don't get me wrong, but then you've got to have somebody up front who's going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and get the shell about. And today we just didn't have that. Foster I love Foster, don't get me wrong. He has had a good start, but he right muscled at every corner. Anthony couldn't breathe on a play too hard because he was pulled for a foul. China, not been overly impressed with him past few games. I haven't seen him really do anything apart from hit the crossbar. So it's then you can have your 5 at the back, but where's your attacking outlet? So that comes back down to now you need more in the middle. You can't put 2 defensive midfielder players in there and expect something to work, because you've got 2 people who are constantly going to. Don't get me wrong, they'll defend your goal. Okay, we conceded 2, but like I say, we could have conceded 7. But you have no attacking outlet, and I just don't think Anthony, Foster and China are going to really set the world alight. You've got to have the people sending them the ball through. That's what Ugochukwu does. So this Cullen Florentino starting, it's like copy and paste both players. It doesn't make 100% sense to me, but I'm not paid to say what the team does. It's just what I see.
Are they overcomplicating things, Dan? Especially in front of goal. I mean, this one here, David says, what ideas? Any ideas what they do in training? Both Villa's goals. Malin took 2 touches, shoots. Goal number 2 is 1 touch, shoots. So that was also be left centre, right centre, keeper, fullback, lose the ball. Stop making football difficult. You see the poster's point of view.
Well, yeah, but then if we do play the way in which Villa scored their 2 goals, and they took them very well, you get blamed for being a long ball, hoof it up, and team. So it's very easy to point your finger. It's dead easy to write a tweet when we lost and say that we're wrong, that we're wrong, that we're wrong. And then if we'd have done all those things and lost, they said, "Oh, you should have set 5 at the back and set up more defensively." So it's dead easy to be the critic, But they did cut us open too easy. They did manage to splice through us, and they were very similar goals. And yeah, we did get to the edge of their box several times and then just pass it, and there was no invention there. So we do need to try and mix it up, our attacks more, and get to different ways of trying to break down teams. So he's right. The guy who wrote that tweet, he's right to a point. What are they doing? Because they're clearly not focusing on how to break teams down. We're focused on defence and keeping the ball. Well, that's not going to get you very far. At best, it's going to get you a 0-0. So, yeah, he's got half a point. But, to say, we need to, go more direct. If we did that, they'd be like, it's Dutch ball, it's rubbish. So, he has half a point.
Okay. All right. We'll leave the Villa game there then. Obviously, we've got 2 weeks off now, Connor. When we return, an old friend is in town in the form of Leeds United.
We all let Leeds go.
Yeah. This is a must-win, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if we want any sort of chance, I'm not even going to accept a draw. If we want any sort of chance of still being in touch in a few months' time, then we have to beat Leeds tomorrow. We have to, no 5 at the back, none of that. Just absolutely send it, because the worst case scenario is we do lose, but that's besides the point. Just give it your all, and we have to win, in my opinion.
Jordan, what's your starting 11 look like then in terms of formation and personnel for this one?
Well, I thought it'd make sense to go 4-3-3 personally, if we're going to have a bit of a change, especially against Leeds. If you're going to try something a bit different, do it against somebody that's at your level. Don't go trying it against a team that will punish you if it don't work out. let's go Ugachukwu, Florentino, and Cullen in the middle. Now, see, you can make that work a bit more. You know, he's got more of a creative outlet as Josh Cullen when he's given the time, but I think he needs to be given the time by Ugachukwu as somebody to lean on at the side. You can't leave it all down to him; it don't really work. Personally, I might have a switch up front. You've got to keep Anthony on. Maybe drop Chowner. Maybe get Brun Larson in there because I think given 90 minutes, we know from last time we had him, there's a bit he can do. But there is that burgeoning question, if that's even a word. I don't know if I just made that up. There is the question of Trezor and where is he? We saw the quality in that cup game, and then we heard, oh, well, Mikey's got the talent. Well, where is he, Scott? Where is he? Because none of it's making sense now. You can't say he's ill. He pulls out a cracking 15 minutes against Cardiff, and then he's nowhere to be seen after that. He's such a creative outlet, and I think looking back, I know we've said things in the past, but he could be that key to the success because he knows where to find a pass, even when the pass doesn't even look like it exists. So maybe get him on the bench, even if you're just going to bring him in for the last 15 minutes. We have to do something a bit more different. And I think it has to be more attacking minded because I'd respect us more if we're going out on our shield.
Okay. Good shouts. Dan, we mentioned Steve at the top of the show. We won't have to spend too long talking about this if this answer to this question is a simple no. But should we be worried about him?
No.
Okay.
No,
Great answer.
Possibly. I think maybe pressure's getting to him. Maybe he's overcomplicating it. I did see after we'd filmed last week that he'd put out an apology on either Twitter or Instagram or one of the two because he had a bad game against City. So that you like to see player hold his hands up and take responsibility, but there was no need for it. He had one bad game. So you do wonder if he's giving himself too much of a hard time, whether he's putting too much pressure on himself. And then today, again, it's easy to point the finger at one guy, but when it came to both of those goals, he was the man tracking him. He tries to push him out wide. He wasn't strong enough. He doesn't even get a foot in the way of the shot. And then he scores and slots it past Dubravka. The second one, obviously, he pelts it past him, but again, very similar on both occasions. So you do wonder, I don't think we need to rest him. I just think there needs to be, I don't know whether it's an arm around him or don't worry too much or don't overcomplicate it, don't overthink it. Just do what he used to do because, last season he chases that ball down and even if he doesn't tackle him, when he takes the shot, he disrupts it, gets his foot in the way or does something and affects it. Whereas today he just kind of seemed a bit too easy to play against. So I think probably something just needs to happen to him. I don't think it's too much. I think certainly he can get himself out of it, but he's had, a couple of bad games. But it happens, he's not a bad player.
Yeah,
we missed Ekdal so much today. I didn't realise how much we missed that lad until he wasn't there.
Good shouts. Right, a quick one on referees, Connor. I know we've talked already a lot on here about refereeing standards this season, but it's our theme this week. What word can you describe the standard of referees that Burnley have had this season? And are you shocked at, you know how bad it was in the Championship? Are you still shocked at the standard in the Premier League, even with VAR here?
For the word, I'm just going to say biased. That's because they're always biased to the bigger teams. And I am surprised and not surprised at the same time because VAR clearly doesn't seem to make a difference, but it's not necessarily... We've not had too many times this season where it's VAR to blame or it's a big decision like that. It's the little decisions in games that it just disrupts it and it just sends it the other team's way and it's just giving a free kick here and there and it's like... It's frustrating because you can only think of one bad decision in fairness to them. That was Man United. The two penalties, disallowed goal and the penalty. I think it's just the little decisions that's getting to me and that's bugging me the most. And yeah.
Okay. Right. We won't talk too much.
There's an example of that today, wasn't there? Matty Cash stands on Anthony's foot, nothing's given. Anthony reverses it, he gives a free kick.
Yeah.
And for something innocuous. And it's like you say, it's them little decisions, it frustrates them.
Okay.
Bias was so unsure today, it was frightening. Honestly, it was frightening.
I think that's right. That it's because it's Burnley. It's it's just Burnley. I think that's a psyche that's in the referee's head.
I don't know whether it's a psyche. It may be just that it's a fan thing. We've got it in our heads that we read too much into it. But I think the referees do think they'll get away with it because, we've always had very polite, very almost British stiff upper lip. I don't think that was quite right. I'll have you know, referee. Whereas, you go down the lines, with the City manager or the Arsenal manager who go all guns blazing in your face, screaming and shouting and what have you. So whether it's that they don't want to disrupt it, whereas the Burnley managers are often very much more reserved, or like you say, so that no one's going to care too much about us. Possibly, I don't know.
No, it's little old Burnley, population of 70,000. We're not up there with the big boys. We're not a city. We're a town that are overachieving in a league that we shouldn't even really be in. They hate the fact that Burnley, the little old mill town with nothing going, the deprivation of a town where it's a shithole, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They don't like us being there, and that's just how it is.
Right. How can you top that? Well, we can have a more light-hearted discussion about the A to Z of Burnley's, what we can do. Last week we put the letter A up and some good discussions around that one. This week, of course, we're talking about B. We asked AI, and of course, yes, this fella, as we mentioned earlier, George Boyd comes up. So, what have we got this week? Jordan, kick us off.
Right, we're going to go for the glaring obvious one. I'm not going to nick yours down because I felt like I didn't get in there fast enough. So I thought, let's go for B. Let's go for something that embodies B. And I've gone for Bertie B. Everyone knows who Bertie B is.
Bertie B is the man.
Bertie B gives a wave and all that. All the kids love him. Now you've got Bella B. So we have Bertie and we have Bella, and they're all walking around. He used to do the worm back in the day. I don't know if he does it anymore, I'll be quite honest. But Bertie B.
Dan.
Well, we were having a chat about this on Twitter earlier, and I think we've all come to the conclusion the only thing that you can put in is Armando Broja. I of course joke. I've had a few people suggest things to me. Adam Blacklaw, his goalkeeper going back many, many years ago. You've got Ashley Barnes, various others, and Connor, I'm sure will bring one up. I think the only one that we can, it's not a player, it's a drink. It's old Benedictine, Benny and Hot. It's what you need when you get down to the turf. Mark, you'll be sampling this on Boxing Day or day after. You'll come round.
Right.
It's an acquired taste, but any Burnley fan, if you know, it has to be that.
Okay. We need a commission, don't we? Yeah, this one. Connor?
We do.
Sponsorship.
Right. So far, we've got a mascot and a drink.
Yeah.
Right.
Connor's going to save us. Come on.
Rescue this.
So I've got two players here. I've got to make a decision, and he's well liked, especially by these two. So I'm going to go Josh Brownhill. I'm joking. No. I'm joking.
You didn't save us. You didn't save us, mate. We were relying on you.
Come
You
on.
didn't save us.
We'll go the Beast, Brian Jensen.
Shout.
Beast. The original Steve.
I'm actually really shocked you've got that for being a bit younger. Like I didn't think you knew who the Beast were.
Come on. I know. Come on.
Can it
He's
go in as
Benjamin
a
Button.
B?
He's really 84. Sorry,
Can it go in as a B?
Sorry Mark. What did...
Yeah.
I'd say so. Yeah, because everyone called him Beast when it Beast. That's just what it were.
And he's called Brian. I know
Yeah,
what
he's
you
called
said
Brian.
in your email, but it's still...
And they
Right,
used to pronounce
okay.
it were Brian Benson. It weren't Brian Jensen. It Brian Benson. So, yeah, he can go in at B.
Okay. And we want him in over George Boyd or Ashley Barnes for certain.
Yeah, you can do.
Yeah,
Why
go
not?
Why not?
Yeah, go on. Put Beast in.
There we
Just
go. Right, come
ignore
on.
me for a moment.
People watching this in the comments, you're going to be typing away now, going, they've forgotten him, they've forgotten him, they've forgotten him. I thought you might have gone Blackburn away, as when you won the league, perhaps. But
As if you're not Denny and all.
No,
I didn't even think that broadly. I'll be quite honest with you.
Oh, Manny
Right,
Benson.
I'm not saving you anymore.
Yeah.
Come on,
Benson
people in the
at
comments.
Bastards.
Let's get these. Let's get this sorted, shall we? Right, thank you lot. Enjoy the international break. We'll see you hopefully hammering Leeds when we come back in a fortnight's time. See you then.